Well, you've made it to the accuracy assessment. This is where you should be excited, and we should hopefully get some interesting results. So the first thing we need to do is go to your area where you're keeping the ZoneStat CSV file. Mine is in random sampled mesh. And open this up in Excel or OpenOffice if that's what you're using. And let's think, what are we doing here? We've got all these points. We've got how many was it? There was 109 because that's how many were actually sampled of this 120 randomly sampled mesh data that we started with. And then of these, we've got, where is it? We've got information on, well, which ones are actually containing rice. And then we've got the percentage of the mesh that actually contains rice. And we know that each mesh is 200 by 200 meters. So based on this, we can actually calculate the total planted area of rice for the sampled meshes. So let's do that. And to do this a little bit cleaner, let's start a new tab here in ZoneStat. I'm going to click on right here to open a new sheet. I said tab. And go back to ZoneStat. And then let's copy the ID field and then hold Control. And then let's go over to this B1 rice field and then also the B4 rice rate. So if you've got those three, you can do Control C or click right here and right click right there, excuse me, and do copy. And then go over to the sheet right here and simply paste. And let's calculate the area. Let me open this up a bit. So let's call this rice area, and then I'll give meters squared will be the units. So how can we calculate that? We know that this is going to be equal to 200 meters times 200 meters times this percentage right here, whatever out of 100 it was, divided by 100 because of the way it's formatted. And that's, of course, a 0 because there's no percentage there. And let me drag this down to all the cells. Let's see. Right here. I'm going to paste. And then right here, let's calculate the sum of all these areas in all these sampled meshes. Right here, return. So, and if we want to, we could format this with some commas, a number, no decimals. So 2.143 million square meters of rice. That was what was gained from the field surveys. So this is a number that we've got pretty high confidence in. Now remember, it's not for all of Nueva Ecija, of course. That would be much, much more area than just these randomly sampled meshes that were sampled. So how do our results compare for the other ones? Let me reduce this a little bit here. We have somewhere, I don't know where you've saved it, mine is in the INAHOR output data section. We've got two files. We've got the tuning output for the original -15 and 3 threshold values. Then we've got the one for the revised threshold values. So let's see how the original defaults were. So this one you can also open with Excel. And let's do this. Let's first sort on mesh ID. So I'm going to go right here, and then let's click on that. So we want mesh ID. We also want to take two things from here. We want to have the let me expand this here. We want to have the harvest acreage and the growing acreage. These are the ones of interest to us. So hold down Control, take both of those. So you've got 3, the ID, and then the harvest and the growing acreage. Right click, copy, and then go back to your other spreadsheet, which is right here, and let's just go maybe right here and paste. Right click, paste. So we've got some numbers that came in here. Now to calculate the rice area for this one, I'm going to copy that. I want to paste it right here. Could of course typed it in if you wanted. And what will the formula be for this one? Well, that's going to be simply this value, and let's do this in parentheses, this value plus this value times 10,000, because we're going from hectares to meters squared. Okay, there's a value there. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to drag down here to the bottom one, paste, and then also let's just copy this sum and see what we got. Drum roll, please. Okay, 2,764,000 square meters. So this estimate with the original threshold values of -15 and 3 was apparently higher, and we can calculate by what percent, than the actual measured amounts. So let's see how we did with the revised threshold values. So for this one, please go to the output data again, and you'll use this CSV file. So right click, open with Excel. Again, click here, or well, click here, I guess, and sort, select. Let's take the harvest and the growing, copy those. Sorry, I did that wrong. Right here, those three. Right click, copy, and let's go back to this zone stat one right here. I'm going to place it right here and paste. And you know what, let's get some room here, and let's just take this column as it is. We can just paste that right here because the heading and the formulas will translate properly. And let's see what we got on the bottom. Do we have a better number or a worse number? Is our answer closer or farther from the actual value that we found in the surveys? You should have a hint before, and I'm trying to make this dramatic, before we get down to this final part right here. You should have an idea. We went from a threshold value of -15 to -12. So what does that mean? We went from a threshold 2 value of 3 to 4. So we increased the range that was required, but we greatly increased the value for the threshold 1. So those are competing. Let's see what the result is. 3 million. We went the wrong way.